Hello all and welcome to TVM Academy. This is VARC 100, a free practice course for CAT verbal section. RC number 25 of the series. The link was shared on our Telegram group. It was also sent to your registered email IDs. If you want to sign up for this free course, you can do so on our portal. The link is available in the description of this video. RC number 25, let's begin. A quick synopsis of the passage. In the first paragraph, author tells you that the widespread myth that European settlers altered the ecosystem in Western Hemisphere is ill-founded. The native population of Western Hemisphere had already altered it. So basically, the native population in Western Hemisphere had changed the ecosystem much before the arrival of the European settlers, is what the author says. In the second paragraph, author tells us that there is evidence which suggests that the native population routinely practiced burning of the land. And in the third paragraph, he gives us further evidence. Regular burning of the land was responsible for creating the type of vegetation that we see today. The homogeneous trees that we see today in North America and South America are a result of regular burning of the land, or else we had heterogeneous trees or mixed stands of trees in these forests earlier. So this is what the passage. So basically, author says that the gist of the passage is that much before the arrival of the European settler, the native population of Western Hemisphere had already changed the ecosystem by regular burning of the land. So they practiced regular burning of the land. Okay. So what is the main idea of the passage? Question number one. Clearly, the main idea is the same, that the natives practiced regular burning of the land. Evidence suggests that the native population in Western Hemisphere practiced regular burning of the land. We are looking for this answer choice. Option A. Despite extensive evidence that native population had been burning the land in North and South America extensively before 1492, some scholars persist in claiming that such burning was infrequent or the result of natural fires, natural causes. Now, please note, it's tempting choice, very tempting choice. However, despite X, Y, in such constructions, Y becomes the important part, the main idea or the main clause. In such constructions, despite X, Y, the Y part becomes the main idea. However, in option A, the Y part is some scholars still persist in claiming that burning of the land was infrequent. It was not important, it was insignificant. Does the author is the author's main point this, that some scholars, now please consider these two statements and probably you will understand the difference. Despite evidence, some scholars claim that the native population did not routinely burn the land. Despite evidence, scholars claim that burning was infrequent. And despite scholars' argument, there is evidence that the burning was frequent. These are two different things. And author's main idea is the second one. Therefore, option A gives more importance to the second part, which is not the main idea. Misplaced focus. And that is why understanding grammar is important. And understanding the sentence structure is important. Okay. Option B. In opposition to the widespread belief that in 1492, the Western Hemisphere was uncultivated, scholars unanimously agree that the native population were substantially altering the North and South American forests well before the arrival of the Europeans. Do they unanimously agree? Now, please note. Please note. In the first paragraph, author says, scholarship shows that forests had been altered well before the arrival of the Europeans. Okay. Native populations had altered the forests. Nevertheless, some researchers have maintained that the impact and frequency of such burning was minimal. So there is a clear disagreement between two sets of researchers. Scholarship shows that native population did practice burning, but some researchers nevertheless maintain that it was an infrequent exercise. They did not. The impact was also minimal. So do they unanimously agree? Unanimously agree that the native population were substantially altering the ecosystem? There is no unanimity. There is no agreement between them. There are clearly two sets of researchers. So this is contradictory to what the passage says. This is contradictory to what the passage says. Option C. Although some scholars minimize the scope and importance of the burning of forests by native populations of North and South America, evidence of the frequency and impact of such burning is actually quite extensive. Now, this answer choice places correct focus on this part, that there is extensive evidence of the frequency and impact of burning of land by the native population in Western Hemisphere. Therefore, although some scholars don't think that it was important, there is extensive evidence that. So author actually sympathizes with this idea. This is the main idea of the passage. Option C is the correct answer, guys. Option D, where scholars had once believed that North and South American forests remained uncultivated until the arrival of the Europeans, there is now general agreement. Wait. It has the same problem which answer choice B had. There's no unanimity, so there's no general agreement. There are two sets of researchers. One think that the ecosystem had been altered by native population. They practiced burning. Another thinks that the impact was minimal. It was the Europeans who started changing the ecosystem. So there's no general agreement. This is also again contradictory to what the passage says. Okay, so option B, option C. Question number 2. Can be inferred that a burned forest, as described in the passage, would be least likely to show which of the following features. Okay, a burned forest is least likely to show which of the following features. Option A, numerous types of hardwood trees. Now, please note this part, the last part of the passage says the native population practiced regular burning, and because of this regular burning, homogeneous pine forests were created. Because of regular burning of the land, homogeneous pine forests were created, and when these native settlements were abandoned, the land returned to mixed hardwood. So if you don't practice burning of the land will return to mixed hardwoods. Therefore, please understand, no burning means hardwoods, and burning means homogeneous pine trees, pine forests or homogeneous forests. One type of tree, homogeneous forests. Okay. And the question says a burned forest is least likely to. If a forest is burned, it is likely to have a homogeneous population of trees. It is not going to have numerous types of hardwoods. So option A is the correct answer. It is least likely to display hardwoods. If you don't burn the forest, then it is likely to display hardwood trees. It returns to hardwoods, right? So a burned forest is unlikely to have hardwoods. Option A is the correct answer. Will a burned forest have extensive herbaceous undergrowth? Explicitly mentioned here. Second paragraph, last line. Open herbaceous undergrowth, another result of the clearing brought about by the burning of the land. So yes, a burned forest is likely to have, is not least likely, is in fact most likely to have this. Option C, various stages of ecological maturity, again mentioned here. Burning of the forest promoted a mosaic quality to North and South American forests, creating forests in many different stages of ecological development, which means burning is likely to create various forests in various stages of ecological maturity. This is also not least likely, it is most likely. Burning creates grassy openings such as meadows and glades, also mentioned. Controlled burning created grassy openings such as meadows and glades. So option D is also explicitly mentioned as a result of the burning. So it is not least likely, it is most likely to be the result. Next question. The succession mentioned in the last line refers to what? So here is it. Here it is. Last line say When the native settlements were abandoned, the land returned to mixed hardwoods. When they kept practicing regular burning, then we had pine trees. So when native settlements were there and they regularly burned the land, we had pine trees. When they abandoned the settlements, then the land returned to mixed hardwoods. There were no pine trees, they were hardwoods, mixed trees, mixed population of hardwoods. And this succession refers to what? This succession refers to pine trees followed by hardwoods. Homogeneous pine trees followed by mixed hardwoods. Option D has to be the answer. Easy question. Option A, forest clearing followed by controlled burning of the land. No. Tropical rainforest followed by pine trees. No. European settlement followed by abandonment of land. No. It was the native settlement followed by abandonment of land actually. And that too, succession word does not refer to that. Succession, this succession refers to return of the hardwoods after pines. Return of the hardwoods after pine, homogeneous pine populations, right? So option D is the answer. Which of the following is presented by the author as evidence of controlled burning in the tropics before the arrival of the Europeans? Again, last paragraph. Author says there are homogeneous pine trees in the Nicaragua forests. There are homogeneous pine trees in the Nicaragua. So there is a homogeneous population of pine trees in Nicaragua forest. Okay. And then he says, in Caribbean and Mexico also, in similar low tropical elevations, we can again see such homogeneous population of pine trees in similar low tropical elevations, which means Nicaragua is also a low tropical elevation. That is why he's drawing a similarity. He's using the word similar. So he's drawing a similarity between Nicaragua and other low tropical elevations such as Caribbean and Mexico. So which of the following is presented as the evidence? Extensive homogeneous forests at high elevation? No. Low elevation? Yes. Option B is the answer. Heterogeneous forests? No. Homogeneous pine trees. Extensive sedimentary charcoal accumulations at high elevations? Again, wrong. Last question. Which of the following would the author agree with? Most likely to agree. Please note author's point of view. Okay. Option A, the long-term effects of controlled burning could just as easily have been caused by natural fires. So the effects of controlled burning is equal to effects of natural fires. Contradictory to what the passage says. Author clearly mentions in the second paragraph that all man-made fires, such fires refers to man-made fires. All man-made fires had different effects on vegetation pattern than natural fires had. So the man-made fires caused by the native populations had different effects than the natural fires. So the effects are not similar, contradictory. Option B, Nicaraguan pine forests could have been created either by natural fires or by controlled burning, again contradictory. Clearly, author gives Nicaragua pines as an example of it's a place where natural fires are rare. Therefore, burning created these forests. So they cannot be the result of natural forests. The natural fires, they are result of controlled burning of the land. Option C, European settlers had little impact on the composition of ecosystems in North and South America. Tempting choice, guys. Tempting choice. Though the author does say that even before the arrival of the Europeans, the native population routinely practiced burning of the land, it does not mean that the Europeans did not have much impact. Maybe they also had an impact. We don't know. So data insufficiency in the passage. Author only talks about the impact of native population, that they had an impact. They already practiced burning of the land, so they were changing or altering the ecosystem in the Western Hemisphere even before the arrival of the Europeans. That does not mean Europeans did not change it further. They might have changed this for further, so this data intervene. What was the impact of Europeans? No, we don't know. Certain species of plants may not have been abundant without controlled burning, may not have been as abundant without controlled burning. Last paragraph, first line. Controlled burning created favorable conditions for berries and other plants, other fire tolerant plants. If it created favorable conditions, it means without burning, we might not have abundant population of berries. Might not have. And the best part about option D is may. It uses a possibility. So without controlled burning, we may, because it created favorable conditions. We have berries today. Without controlled burning, we might not have the same population or abundant population of berries. I hope you enjoyed this exercise, guys. Some of you might have found the answer choices confusing and challenging, though understanding the passage was pretty easy. The options were confusing, they were close. Keep practicing, keep improving, keep watching these videos for more improvement. Do not forget to like the video. Do not forget to share the word about TVM Academy. Spread the word about VARC 100, the free practice course. Until next time, bye-bye. Cheers to learning.